Greetings, my movie ghouls. Welcome to our 31 Days of Horror Halloween Countdown. I'm Nate, the ultimate movie geek, and I'm joined by Marina, also known as Mrs. Movie Geek, and we're back with another movie. Tonight, one of my favourites, not one of hers, Night of the Living Dead by George.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Stop it! You're ignorant.
They're coming for you, Barbara.
Stop it! You're acting like a child.
They're coming for you. Look, there comes one of them now.
He'll hear you.
Romero, starring Dwayne Jones and Judith O'Dea. And arguably is the movie that, well, it's not arguably, it's the movie that kicked off the genre that is known as the zombie genre. Because it is a genre, let's face it. And this movie just encapsulates everything that a zombie film is. You can take a zombie film from 2000, 2010s, even today, and it is basically just this premise reused and redone. Just nothing has changed with it really, down to like The Walking Dead. It is all from Romero zombies and this film. And because I've seen it, and because obviously I really, really like this film, even though it is dated, I'm going to pass over to Mr. Movie Geek because this was her first watch. So, what did you think of it? And you might kill me if you don't like it.
Why would I kill you?
Well, no, I'm just saying. Go on.
Doesn't make any sense. It was okay. I don't like zombie movies.
I don't, they scare me.
I don't like them because they don't really scare me. I just don't find them dull. This is not my type of film at all, and I knew that going in. But I do have to say there was moments in the film that were quite genius, really. And it, at times, yes, it's very, very dirty. And as it first started, it starts with their brother and a sister visiting their grandfather's grave, and they're very quickly attacked. He gets knocked out and she runs off and finds the farmhouse, and that's where the film is set.
Yeah.
The actress was, I use the term loosely, awful. Most of the movie, there were parts in it where she acted okay, but the majority of it felt really strange, and I don't know if it's just because it was maybe, I don't know, was it low budget? Yeah. I'm not sure. She just wasn't great.
A lot of the acting is a little bit
hammy.
I won't even say hammy. It's just, yeah, let's go down to the basement, stuff like that. But it does seem like it's that sort of.
But there are parts in it that it felt more modern. It was a bit of a strange watch for me.
Like the newscast and
so like in parts of it they kept turning the TV on because like other people come to this farmhouse, so they're holed up there, and they've got power, so they keep turning this TV on, and they're getting news reports in, so they know what's. It's a bit like Shaun of the Dead.
Well, that's what.
And they're seeing what
I know, but that's the point. This film started off.
Get the point out. That'd be nice. So. They're watching the news, and it's like following the news anchor, well not anchor because he's out in the field, but reporter. And it's them following the reporter with a camera, and they're talking to these like scientists in general, and that felt really new, like it didn't fit in the film, so it was quite a strange thing, and there was bits of it that were really good, and I think at this time as well, to have cast who they cast in the role and the main character for the man was quite forward thinking, because it was the late 60s and it was
as
quite
the protagonist, and he is the one that you follow. You want to survive, and obviously spoilers for this. It's dark as well.
Yeah, it is.
It's a proper dark film. I know it's a zombie film, but you got to think back in the 60s, the late 60s. This film would have just been mental to watch.
I think a lot of people wouldn't have got it because it's about undead people coming back to life, reanimating, eating people alive type of thing, like murdering, eating them. even including a kid. Which I mean, it's not shocking to watch now. The amount of stuff
because we've seen it. We've been brought up with, like you say, Shaun of the Dead and all those other films. 28 Days Later as well.
Yeah, but back then, I think it would have turned a lot of audiences away because it just wouldn't have been their thing.
It is a cult classic.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, it isn't for me, and I knew that from the outset because a lot of the very popular that people are really precious about, I tend not to like. It's just not my style. I'm not criticising people who do. It's just not my style.
I don't think. People are precious about films, but
we know somebody absolutely slated me because I didn't like a film.
No, Omen, funnily enough.
Got really personal.
When it wasn't even that, they commented on Omen 2. Talking about Omen 1. Anyway, but yeah, and I think that this film is a great beginning of the main trilogy. It sets that mass hysteria type feeling for the film and for the time that he's trying to commentate on. But I think then you've got to look at Dawn of the Dead, and we'll probably do that next year, but that's the one where everything spans off that. Whereas this one was the beginning, Dawn of the Dead was where you get all the rules and all that sort of stuff coming off. So this one is brilliant, and it's a really good watch if you want to see it. But like I say, if you've seen a zombie film, you know exactly what's going to happen in this. You know who the idiot is in the group, because there's always an idiot who wants to do it his way, or well, it's mostly his way. It's always a guy.
There's always somebody who's going to die, and you don't want them to die. Yeah,
there's always going to be that moment where, like you say, the person you don't think is going to die then dies, and it's a great commentary on what people do when they are stressed, when they're under pressure, and the bad choices they make and the good choices they make, because even the good choices go wrong. And if anyone hasn't seen Night of the Living Dead, you just need to go and watch it. If you have Shudder, it's on Shudder. But
it's it's definitely not one for everyone.
No, it
definitely
isn't.
not one for me. But better than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
It's not my type of film, which doesn't help either.
We're 4 years into this annual Halloween countdown and all that stuff, and this is the first time we've had this, or it's pretty much one of the first zombie films, isn't it, that we've had? Oh, it might not be.
No.
But it's the fact that we waited 4 years to do Night of the Living Dead shows that we were keeping that aside, because I knew that you wouldn't like it.
I didn't know about it, so you obviously were. Not for me.
I just knew you wouldn't like it.
Yeah, it's not for me. It's not an awful film.
No.
And if you were interested in watching it, I would definitely watch it. It's quite. I just found it a bit dull because it's aged. I think at the time I probably would have loved it. Possibly.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It's just a bit too slow paced for me. And I'm not a lover of zombie movies, so it's never going to be my thing. But there are parts that are very, very well acted, and there are parts that are awfully acted. It feels like a bit of a mishmash of a film, because there's parts in it that are really old fashioned, and then parts that you feel it would fit into something you watch now. So I was surprised. I mean, I obviously didn't love it, but I was surprised. I would probably give it a 6 out of 10. For me.
Good. Oh, I'm gonna just give all my pumpkins to that. It's no, you know what? I'm gonna give it a 9, because there are better zombie films, and I'm probably just biased because it's the first. Yeah, 9 pumpkins for my pumpkin patch. I did enjoy it, and I like the fact that when we were watching it, you were like, "That's." She was like, "Yeah, that's good." Yeah. And then others, she was like, "No, well, he's a bit crap, isn't he?"
What's he doing?
Yeah. Well, no, it's good. I love watching films that I've seen and I like, and it's getting you to.
Tell you what I hated, the very first bit when she got into the farmhouse, and she was like, grabbing hold of every surface. So even on the way to the farmhouse, she'd grab onto a pole. And then she'd get to the door, and then she'd grab onto the door frame instead of try to get in.
But that, I think, is like
I think it was
old-fashioned filmmaking, isn't it? You look at like Hitchcock films.
Just like, what are you doing? you silly cow, get in the house. Don't grab on the door frame. Get in that house.
And that it's old-fashioned filmmaking, and it's sort of like every movement has to count. You've got to show what you're doing. And I think it also
made her the hysterical woman who couldn't function as well.
And it's strange because you think she's a protagonist.
Yeah, and she wasn't. She was a bit of a waste of space, her character, and a bit of a wasted opportunity considering the what we've tried to do with the rest of the film. They could have gone one step further and actually made her a bit more heroic. Yeah. Maybe too much too soon. Yeah,
but I just want to say before we finish, you've got to think as well, like you said that she's grabbing onto everything, but that's also being put into like the 80s horror slashers where the characters just make mistakes for no reason and falling over.
Oh no, it lines me up, yeah. I'm like, right, that's it, they deserve. She's done that 5 times, she's a goner.
Because she does do a fall at the beginning, and you can see she's all in camera, and she falls over nothing. It's like, fall over now! Whoa!
No, it gets to about the 6th time you think, no, I've had enough of you.
You're dead.
Go on, you're not coming in the house.
Interesting.
Stay outside.
Interesting point as well in this. They didn't have the whole zombie idea laid out, I don't think, because you see the first zombie that you see picks up a rock and tries to break the window, and then you see them all getting weapons and doing that, and then that is kind of abandoned in the next few until Day of the Dead when they bring in, I can't remember his name. Anyway.
That's a story for another time.
Yeah. But I loved it. Thank you for watching. This has been another Halloween Countdown video. And we will see you tomorrow night for something else. I'm not too sure what it is. Click subscribe and like and share it to your friends. See you tomorrow.